Throughout Sarah Dobson's pregnancy, she had regular scans which showed her baby son was developing perfectly. But just 2 days after her due date, she realised he was no longer moving. A final scan revealed he had died in the womb.
It was awful. I think I screamed, actually. I remember just screaming from like the pit of my stomach. It was almost sort of primal. You can't even think about it. You're just in complete and utter shock.
Sarah then had to give birth to her son, who they named Hamish.
We dressed him, bathed him, gave him a cuddle, told him how much we loved him. And then, so that's what we did. And, when he came out, he just looked like our little boy, how I'd imagined him. He had my nose, he had a big mop of brown hair, he sort of had quite petite features. He just looked like my little boy, but he was asleep.
Today's report found Britain's stillbirth rate is still one of the worst in the developed world, and we're making little progress. The government says it now wants to halve the number of stillbirths here, and one MP, whose son was also stillborn, is leading the campaign.
The government's putting in £2.4 million, which is going into diagnostic equipment in hospitals. Some hospitals are already doing this really well in terms of testing and monitoring at later stages of pregnancy. But it's also about training. So £1 million is going into training for nurses and midwives.
Sarah believes better monitoring could have saved her son.
How does it make you feel to know that this is continuing to happen to other mothers?
It's horrific. Every time I hear another story, my heart just breaks for them, because I know what they're going through. And I also know that there's a good chance that, obviously depending on what the cause was, that actually their child could have been saved.
Almost half of stillbirths could be prevented with improved care. And Sarah says she wants to make sure this doesn't happen to anyone else. Layla Hayes, 5 News.